The Big Small Business Show is made possible by MTN Business. Your success is our passion. And the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants. Develop, influence, lead.
Welcome to the Big Small Business Show. I'm Alon Reyes.
And I'm Katlego Msomi, CEO of Msomi Corp. Or is it Reyes Corp?
No, it's Msomi Corp.
You must be Katlego. I'm Alon. I'm Alon Reyes, CEO of Reyes Corp. That's Chief Excitement Officer. Up first today, we welcome Harold Schultz, founder of Suntoy, back into studio with us. Since he appeared on the show last, he's gone from strength to strength, and an exciting turn of events is the fact that they're now exporting their solar glass jars. I'm looking forward to this update.
In 2013, the city of Tshwane announced their strategy for its Wi-Fi project, which in due time will give everyone in Tshwane access to free internet connectivity. This is exciting news for SME owners, as they will automatically benefit from this initiative. Stay with us as we'll unpack the different phases of the rollout later in the program.
Now, Getty Gazor, founder of Soho Nails, Waxing and Beauty, based in Sandton City, joins the panel today. The salon caters for stars such as Oprah, Lyra and Samuel L. Jackson, and is based in Sandton, Gauteng. She shares her entrepreneurial path with the panel today.
Suntoy was founded by Harold Schultz in 2008. In 2010, he designed a solar lantern which is powered by the sun, and this led to a subsequent partnership with Console Glass. Let's have a look and see where his business was 2 years ago.
Suntoy is a unique business that provides innovative solar energy solutions. Their factory is based in Johannesburg, where they produce a variety of solar-powered products, including lanterns, cell phone chargers, and toys. The team's vast experience in engineering and business was a major contributing factor when setting up factory in 2011.
We provide solar energy solutions, specifically on the PV solar, which is the part of the solar energy side that produces electricity. These things inevitably get manufactured in China or overseas and then brought into the country. No, we don't believe that. We believe that we've got the know-how in the country, we've got the people that can produce it in the country, and I don't see a reason why that needs to go abroad. If you're then looking at the rural areas of South Africa or Africa, there are, in South Africa alone, 5 million households that do not have any electricity. And with that come a large amount of children and learners that study by candlelight. So there's where we can make a difference, is on the small scale, with like the solar lantern we do for Console. You're quite easy and happily able to read a book or study by. There's no running costs involved because it's only a once-off cost at the beginning. There's no danger that comes with candlelight.
Console Glass is one of their major clients, for which they manufacture solar-powered lanterns, a simple yet innovative concept in a jar.
The manufacturing process starts with the procurement. We've managed to secure very good contracts with local suppliers. So in terms of manufacturing part, I think we are one of the very few that do mass produce solar energy specific products in South Africa. On the procurement side, we import one single product from China. This is the actual solar panel that's on the solar jar. This is the one part we do bring in from China because nobody in South Africa makes them. We've got one side which does the bending of all the wires, mounting of the magnets. And then we've got another side which does the PC board or surface mount technology assembly. Then the two get mounted together in a final assembly stage, and then it gets packaged. And from there on, we deliver to Console Glass in Woodmead, and they do the distribution. If we can get ourselves 2, 3, 4, 5 products like this, we can suddenly employ 100, 150 people. I think another problem we have, which I think a lot of companies also suffer from, is something called identity. We're not quite sure in which direction we should be going. Maybe we should have a bigger focus on the educational side because of my background with CESA and young CESA. Maybe we should have more of a focus on the real industrial side, which is sort of more or less what we've now done with Consul, and you manufacture something for big corporate. So there's a bit of identity, but there's room for both. But there's also only so much time in the day that you can focus on something.
Harold, welcome. Geez, you look younger now than then. That was 2 years ago, and now look at you.
I think it's the other way around.
Is it a bit of Botox? Is it Botox?
No, I haven't done the Botox yet.
No, it's the good life, eh? It's the good life. So what's happened since with that insert? That was 2 years ago. What's happened in your business?
Much has happened. On the one side, on the other side, not so much. In terms of new products or new customers, we haven't explored that avenue as much as we probably would have liked.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side, on the product itself that we've manufactured, we have done absolutely greatly. One is from a year and a half ago, I think we used to make about 10,000 a month with a push.
Yeah.
We've been able to get the supply chain and manufacturing up to now the present 50,000 a month.
And that, of course, has impact on your ability to buy cheaper.
We have actually reduced our prices to Consul on 2 occasions, whereas 2 years ago we were probably slightly on the higher side towards them. We've been able to have 2 reductions, and that's including the current increase in the rand, and that's mainly because we've increased the volume. We've got a better buying power. We've got the logistics in place. Our stock has now leveled, whereas before, as you're ramping up, you need to buy stock constantly. So your stock holding, you're forever putting cash back into the stock because you need to ramp up. We've now reached a plateau.
What's happened with the employment? How many people do you employ now versus
then we were employing 16 altogether. We're now 55.
55 people.
55 people.
And that includes some automation, am I right? It hasn't included some
of the, well, like the PC board production, the SMD production, that was done manually at the time. We didn't have money for machinery or anything.
Okay.
And that's we actually had a manual process up until we reached about 80,000. And the difference from then onwards is we invested in 2 new pick and place machines, 1 brand new one a second hand one, to actually also help get the quantity up.
Let's talk about Harold himself. Other than looking younger, in 2 years, what's happened to your confidence levels, to how you feel as an entrepreneur? Has that changed at all, or you feel the same?
I'm a lot more comfortable in my skin than what I was then.
Okay, elaborate.
Well, then it was starting up a company. It was dealing with the cash flow problems. It was not having proper employees in certain positions. It was a lot of the work was done by myself for very few people. So call it the management level. Whereas now I've employed a GM, Jackie. She's wonderful. We've just recently employed a proper electrical engineer from WITS, a new guy that's just finished his degree last year. He's joined now in January. So a lot of the technical development now I can collaborate with somebody. So from that point of view, I think outside of the financial side, it's grown into something where I've now got a circle of friends and people around me. The network has grown. We have people doing maintenance in the factory from the outside.
Instead of you.
Instead of me, yes.
So let's talk about, you spoke about the rand dollar earlier. That obviously is a huge opportunity for export. Has that changed? Have you been exporting a lot more?
That's been astronomical. We've had, alone over the November-December period, we've had 4 very, very good inquiries for exactly the same product, but going into the States. Norway is a very good one, including they would like to have Consul to actually make the Norwegian glass in South Africa instead of China. They import from China at the moment. It's a price issue, so we don't know where it's going to go. there's really been a flood of inquiries. What we now have to battle with, which is the next step, is become competitive. Because at the moment we've been sitting in this nice little bubble wrap called South Africa and supplying the on market with a price that's affordable. But if you now take on the big guys, your costing changes, the logistics changes, the markups change phenomenally.
Now, the one thing that I know I gave you advice on last time was the one customer. That hasn't changed. The nature in terms of export and import has changed, but it's the same client.
Yes, but yeah, okay.
And
I have to defend myself. What we've realized going along this route, it started off with Consul as a customer.
Yes.
Very good customer.
Yes.
We then saw that locally there was a big demand, and still is. We've just made it into macros. We're in the pick and pays. So the big retailers are starting to stock the product. So there's still a lot of potential in South Africa. But through this, we had inquiries from particular two now distributors. The one is called Sonnenglas in Germany. They've actually started a company specifically for this product in Germany. And the other one is Outsource Australia, obviously in Australia. The product's been very well received. The pricing is right for those two markets. It's still on the upper end, but we're fine. And currently we export about 20% of production.
Well, I see great. I mean, for me, if that is an opportunity then to pursue in order to de-risk you, and because if I were you, I'd still not sleep at night, no matter how comfortable I was in my skin. And I see maybe export is an answer to that, because I understand you must have a relationship with Consul, which you don't want to rattle.
Absolutely.
So I respect that, but then perhaps the export market is a place to look.
That's exactly where we are right now.
Thank you for joining us, Harold. Unfortunately, we have run out of time, and all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you very much for having you.
Fantastic.
Having me. I mean, thank you for having me.
After our startup tip of the week, Getty Gizzo, founder of Soho Nails, Waxing and Beauty in Sandton City, joins the panel to share her insight into how to be a successful business person in a highly competitive industry. Her business was named 2013 Nail Salon of the Year at the Professional Beauty Industry Awards ceremony for a second year in a row.
Sole proprietorship is a non-registered company in the sense that it's not governed by any law except for common law. So you can start it off as someone who, even the traders who trade in the market or on the streets, they can also trade as a sole proprietorship, because it's the simplest form of starting your own business. The things that you should be taking into account is, do you have the funds? Because it's very difficult to get funding from the bank, from investors, because all of it really is within your personal space. You will probably even be operating your own from your personal bank account, so there is no surety that they'll get their money. So the first thing would be, can I be able to sustain the business financially? If there's a need for cash flow to come in, maybe you also try and relying on family, etc. However, one of the things that sometimes the sole traders forget to do is to comply with the taxes. So you need to look into the tax situation of your business, because from a SARS perspective, which is the South African Revenue Services, they still see it as a business, irrespective of its legal form. So they'll want you to pay your income tax. They'll also want you to be maybe registered for VAT, depending on whether you meet the thresholds. And there might be some implication in terms of PAYE if you've got employees. You are also employed as well, so you'd also have to comply with the SARS legislation. So those are the key issues to consider.